All right, so Spencer, Shadowrun, lay it on us.
You guys are great at segues.
Well, what we have to talk about is what kind of characters we would like to play.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a way you guys got to make the characters. So in general, there's kind of 5 roles. The roles are kind of like classes, but they're not really. There's not strictly classes in Shadowrun. So the first role is the face. You know, he's the guy. He's like Jeff Davis. He knows people, and he tells stories, and he talks, and he's that guy. He know.
That's a role?
Yeah. It's whenever there's a crew of people in a movie, in a caper movie, they go to a guy who knows some people.
Oh, he's the face man.
That's the face. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Well, because the word, the title of the game Shadowrun comes from the idea that in the future the corporations control the world, the mega corporations. They can have their own armies and they have their own law, and the world's just kind of a mishmash of craziness and alliances and stuff. And there's these mercenaries that dwell in the shadows that can, if you need something done and you can't do it through legitimate channels,
they're like the A-Team.
You go to these people, Shadowrunners.
And Face Man's an actual character from A-Team. Is there a?
It's like the A-Team.
Can I be B.A. Baracus?
Yeah, you can. He's a troll.
Is he?
In Shadowrun,
he's a troll.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? You got the face man. You got the troll.
No, trolls are a race, Jeff.
You said there were no races, classes.
Yeah, there's no classes.
Okay, so the classes are what?
Sorry. Okay, there's the face. After the face, there's what I hate to refer to as the street samurai. That's essentially a guy who owns weapons. Yeah, they're the muscle, Sometimes they got rocket launchers, sometimes they just got swords and sticks and shit, but they use them for tasks.
Street samurai?
Street samurai.
So they're fighters with weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you got the Decker. That's your hacker. That's kind of like the whole thing about the future is instead of the internet, they got the Matrix, and the Matrix is like this virtual overlaid world. So like if I was looking in the Matrix, I'd see like a virtual mic stand and like a virtual table. And then it would be all like, this is a mic stand made by Sony Corp. And, it's all virtual reality sort of thing. And then the Deckers, they hack that shit. They have these little portable computers that can do illegal stuff, and they can steal money and, do hacking things.
Gotcha.
Like hackers would. I don't know. They could disable your cyber eyes or something, My
cyber eyes?
Yeah. If you have them.
That's a make of car in Shadowrun.
You can get cyber eyes.
Lots of people have like implants, bionic implants.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the face, the street samurai, the Decker. Who else?
The Decker. Then you got your rigger. A rigger is like a hacker, but they work with vehicles and machines. Because in this far-flung future, people don't really know how to drive. Everything just kind of drives automatically using this thing called Grid Guide, which is essentially like if you had to do what Waze told you to. So it's just like that, and so no one knows how to drive unless you spent time learning how to drive. And then the advanced people are riggers, where they can actually jump into the internet and control vehicles from the inside, like go in and be the vehicle. And they also control drones, which are robots and stuff. So that's the rigger. Then you got your magic users, which are broken up into your shamans and your sorcerers, as well as your adepts. And shamans are like, they pray to spirits, and that's where they get their magic. And sorcerers, they're just wizards and shit. And then adepts are they're like people that are really good at stuff in a magical way. So like, if you could punch through a wall, that would be because you're like magically strong, but you couldn't like shoot fireballs and stuff. That's 5, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you, I have some more questions about the adepts.
Yep.
Like, so are you a certain kind of adept? Would you be like, I am like a muscly adept that punches through walls? Or?
Yeah. Like, there could be an adept who's like a master with a swordsman. So like, if you think of a swordsman who could like slice a grasshopper in half with his eyes closed, that would be like an almost magical level of skill. Or if someone could like be so good at card games or shooting guns or something that it really,
So is it like shapeshifting without shapeshifting? Or are you like you get to absorb?
It's like It's like Neo in the Matrix, I would say. I tried, Adam. I tried. I got one?
I did one. I said one thing that wasn't dumb.
I tried to help you. Anyway. Yeah, no, adepts... Like, adepts are like, there's a guy, he's maybe an assassin, and he's got magical abilities that augment his assassinship.
Ooh.
Okay, I see.
But maybe there's a better because there's probably a permutation of the class system that allows for just about any kind of character you would want to be. So it kind of begs the question, like, what,
Yeah, so knowing what little I've told you about the setting, if you had a character concept, that'd be a great place to start. So, like, if I was in the world of Shadowrun, I'd be, like, the well-mannered nerd who knows enough, but not enough to save his own ass. Or, like, something like that. You start...
So we have to size ourselves up?
Yeah, you start with like a tagline as your character concept. Yeah.
Jim Nightblade.
That's a character concept.
It happened. I wish you were 15-year-old.
You were a big fan of that movie Lucy. I remember.
That's my favorite movie ever. That movie's the dumbest piece of shit ever. But so exhilarating. It was so
about
dumb.
10 minutes before the end of that movie, Aaron said, "God damn it! Why does this movie have to be ending?"
I don't know the last time that I felt that.
You wanted Scarlett Johansson to keep turning into
I just
more
wanted them to
black
start improvising.
goo.
Yeah, like her go through the ground and then the earth. She starts juggling the solar system and then eating it and then not being
quickly
able
in that movie, like they make the big deal in that movie, which is Asian guys with guns, like a totally no stakes deal. Like it's about 20% of her brain she can just make everyone in the world fall down, right?
Yeah.
And then like for another hour and a half after that, it's like, now what's she gonna do?
And can she?
Well, you can always make everyone
everything.
fall down, like that thing you do where you just kill the planet.
And then teleport. And then,
Aaron was
God.
saying, is this movie going to end with her like taking the sun out of the sky and throwing it at a guy's head? Yeah, Lucy, you should check it out.
So
Really
Spencer, the job of these Shadowrunners is like they're kind of like guns for hire. They're the people that like.
Yeah, they do illegal stuff. The whole thing is, okay, there was this incident that happened where the Native Americans, they formed their own state and they stole nuclear warheads and they were holding the whole world hostage. And as a kind of a result of that...
Spencer, really
Too
quick.
soon.
Really quick, when Spencer sent this email today explaining all of this, and then I had some questions about like the attitudes towards the other races, and in the email you said, well, like everybody hates Native Americans, and I thought
that is not the diction I
all
use.
day that like your understanding of the world is that everyone hates Native Americans, and I was like, holy shit, and I just like let it go. But this isn't within the world.
That is not the diction I use.
I feel like Native Americans have been getting a free ride in this country for too long.
No, that's not what he. No, he didn't say anything. But I thought.
I didn't use those words exactly.
No.
Everyone in the world of Shadowrun is racist against Indians because they took the world hostage with nuclear weapons.
Okay.
And what?
It's like terrorists.
I'm not familiar with that. Did that resolve? Did the
Yeah, they shot missiles, but the missiles didn't get to where they were going. No one knows why.
Oh.
So then, as a result of that, the governments of the various nations were like, shit, man, you companies, you need to be able to protect yourselves. And so they started hiring private armies. And then they got this thing called extraterritorial status, which basically meant that corporations set the rules instead of the governments. And then they formed their own government called the corporate court. So as of that, all the corporations started rewriting the rules and started getting all the money and started making everyone kind of into this, these dystopian wage slaves. So when everyone is kind of just slaves to corporations, and corporations only have to play by the rules that they set. When they don't want to play within those rules, they hire Shadowrunners to do stuff like murder politicians or steal high-tech shoes. Those are going to be your first 2 missions.
Yeah, like a Shadowrun is one of these covert operations, and Shadowrunners are basically mercenaries.
Okay.
Yeah, so like...
So meanwhile, we have our jobs covered jobs?
No,
or it's
I mean,
we're
you
like
might.
we moonlight as Shadowrunners.
Well, the thing is, in the world, you need this thing called an SIN that's essentially like a credit card number that everyone has. Well, it's like a credit card and a social security number. It's what the governments use to track you, but Shadowrunners don't have those, so they can kind of live outside of the world or outside of the law. But as a result, they can't actually have jobs in the normal way. So the only way they make their living is with crime and with doing these runs.
If you're outed as a Shadowrunner, are you imprisoned? Like, is it illegal to be one?
It is illegal to be one, but that's why they always use false IDs. So you'll probably be running with 3 or 4 false IDs. So if someone's like, "Oh, that's Kyle Robertson," where you're like, "I'm James Jamerson now."
Mystical name.
It is illegal, but they have ways around it.
Oh, you know who would be helpful in this is Demorge Brown. Is Demorge Brown here?
Demorge? Demorge, you here?
There's a really big Demorge Brown fan over there.
Hopefully not too big.
I thought if we're gonna make character, are you gonna be here next week?
You don't have
I'm
to
scrolling through my schedule right now. Yes.
Well, it doesn't matter. Yes. I just wanted to get the pudding stirred here a little bit. We're making characters.
Now, do we have to decide right now, or should we sleep on this and go home? Should I do some more research and think about this more, or should I fire from the hip and pick a character?
I mean, I don't care.
We're talking it out. Right?
For the presentation of it, maybe we should come up with character ideas, and then if you change your mind, we could go from there. Just for the audience.
Like what you're saying when you were describing those 5 roles, what you mean by that is like that.
Those are kind of skill sets.
In order for there to be a successful, like, kind of typical mission, like, you kind of want those points covered,
or
like,
at least a couple of them,
right?
Yeah.
So
what is the face man again? Like, he's the guy that you go to for what?
He just knows people. So if it's like, oh, I need to be smuggled into the sewers of Borneo, maybe a guy knows that. Yeah, he has a cake box. Maybe he knows. Maybe he has a guy who's high up in the business. So if you need to get some business intel, he knows what's going on at the Shiawase Corp, for instance.
So he's like Huggy Bear and Starsky and Hutch.
All right, thank you, Demorge.
He's like that thing that he said.
Demorge, your hair has become tremendous as well. Yeah, you have the Dan Harmon's beard of hair, right?
I think it's just letting it fly, man.
It's good stuff. Yeah. Is it easy to maintain? How is that?
I just let it sit there. And when it needs to be reordered, I pull it all out, and it curls back in on itself over the course of a month.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to be the face man of the group. That seems pretty obvious to me.
That's obvious.
I thought that would get bigger laugh.
I've never been a magic user, so I'm tempted to be a magic user because I've never done it.
All right, so do you want to be a shaman or a sorcerer? Shamans kind of, they revere spirits, whereas sorcerers are like, this is a science to use magic. They function.
Who wants me to be a shaman? Yeah! Who wants me to be a sorcerer? I'll be a rigger. No, fuck it. I'm a sorcerer, Spencer. I'm a sorcerer.
All right. So
who's confused about the vehemence of the opinions? Oh, nobody. Okay.
But also there's race. So there's dwarf and human.
I want to be a black sorcerer.
Okay.
Or a dirty Irish potato sorcerer.
I mean, so there's human and orc and troll and elf and dwarf. There's black too.
I imagine an elf sorcerer would be pretty good at being a sorcerer, right? Yeah. Who wants me to be an elf sorcerer? Who has no opinion? I'm a decker.
Should Spencer? Could you, as a GM, could you give some advice on like what would make us happiest as individuals when choosing what we are? Like, should we?
Are you saying what character would you like to kill off less quickly than your other character?
All right. What, like, should we be choosing characters that fit? I don't know. Like, your opinion. Obviously, there's not a like
it's
right or wrong.
I mean, if you think about a character in like a TV show, it's like that could be summed up in like a thing, and then a character like that might be appealing to you. So it's like, oh, she's the bubbly girl next door. Like that could be like a kind of concept. So whatever appeals to you as a concept of a character you might want to play, even independent of abilities and stuff. That's what I'd recommend.
Do you have an opinion about whether people are most? I mean, like, because there's two philosophies. One is you play a person who like you could never be in real life, and then the other is to like kind of play a mythologized version of what you are in real life.
Yeah.
And they're both valid, like, for role playing. But like, what do you do when you play?
I play as little girls, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Too soon.
No, I play as characters. I exclusively play as characters that are skinny.
Well, okay, so but
I'd recommend that.
do you play?
They can jump higher.
Do you play as? But I mean, like as far as personality goes, do your characters tend to be more like what you want to be, or what you aren't, or what you dare not be?
I like characters that
what...
let me utilize intelligence. You know, like yeah.
No, but I mean, as far as your relationship to that character, what should I do? I'm saying, like,
I'm going to make a decision for myself right now, only because I think this will be fun. I want to be a 15-year-old girl who is an elf sorcerer.
All right.
Yeah, I want to be like a young high school girl age.
Well, Aaron, like,
Kind of like a disenfranchised, disaffected, like little punk rock chick.
great.
Well,
Well,
you'd
finally,
have to
teenage
be.
girls have a voice.
See what?
when we're playing, I mean, what do you tend to find yourself doing? You know, like you certainly craft a lot of things. Like you like to find. You like.
Yeah.
To,
Well, I'm torn. Adam, what?
I think you might enjoy playing a decker/rigger because there's a lot of go with it and make stuff up in hacking.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too.
like taking the existing world. I would agree with that. Like
Okay.
oh, could I make that car do this? Or yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, part of me really wants to play like something that I'm not, that I would really like to be, like a really short, strong immigrant man. I did not expect that to get a laugh. I feel like that's obvious that, like, deep down inside.
It's just funny how convicted you are. There's a lot of phrases that are funny when you just say them.
But then obviously, like, I really like crafting things and coming up with different things.
Maybe you should start with a name first.
Oh.
What country did you immigrate from?
Oh, just like
emigrate from?
An Eastern European country.
Well, good news. Most of the Eastern European countries have been buried by radioactive sludge. So there's great reason to emigrate from them.
Emigrate is a 21st century form of immigration, where you send yourself to a computer.
What I think I like within the game, the things that I enjoy the most are like my character like pretending to be something or trying to talk to people. I guess I don't know. I just like talking to people about how
That's
they
like-
feel.
That could be
So
like
which
that could be like the face man, you know? You'll
really?
you'll stroll up
Okay.
to the security guard and be all like, "Hey man, I'm here on an inspection." And then you'll roll some dice and maybe he'll believe it.
So that's always my favorite part of the adventure, is when Aaron is in charge of. Go ahead, Aaron. Go talk to the guy. Okay, yeah. All right. So you're just, yeah.
I mean, well, that would probably be a disaster. Everyone would be really mad.
Entertainment is a disaster. It's what you enjoy.
Okay, well, I like talking to the other characters. I also like magic. Can I be a magic face?
Yeah, I mean, there, like we were talking about adepts. There's like an adept face might be like a guy who or a girl who's like so charismatic and beautiful that it's beyond, you know, the normal world.
I think we have a winner.
That's a yes. That is a yes.
I mean, like, people are like, I mean, how did that happen? I mean, look at that face. Yes. Yes, I would. Yeah. Yes, I would like that. Yes. Okay.
Harmon, what do you want to be?
I'm just gonna go. I'll just go with my old, like, when I played Shadowrun the first time. Like, if his name is Jim Nightblade, that's fine.
Oh, the return of Jim Nightblade.
I guess he'd be a street samurai category because it's just more of like an assassin kind of guy.
Yeah, he'd probably just have a lot of gear and stuff.
Yeah, like specialty in stealth and like killing. Yeah. Quiet, 5:00 shadow. Very, very sexy, obviously. But
I'm not
totally unintentionally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna physically describe them. So.
You'll get there. Like kind of ripped and.
You have like old doodles of Jim Nightblade in your journal
that
I will photocopy and put on T-shirts immediately. That is a promise. If I find a
doodle. World weary. Just
I'm not gonna write down any of those things. That'll be like your duty to bring to the character, you know. I'm just gonna write down like 6, 4, 13, numbers and shit.
What's left, Demorge? You can't be black.
Oh, can I be? Would I be? Is there some sort of cross between a street samurai and then almost like a hagiograph, like a person that can read a mood, can shift with the mood as the situation changes, or can sense a mood change in the situation before it gets there?
Like he's highly perceptive
or empathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if we were going from A to B, and in between that there were several different types of people to encounter, or maybe is there somebody who would be like, since they can't have jobs, that they would have.
We said you can't be black.
Ooh.
I'm not even. I don't get it.
I'm standing perfectly still for the people who can't read this at home. Is there, how characters in that world sometimes they have these underground jobs, like they're the greeter at a hotel, or they're a greeter at a casino, some underground casino or something, but they have all this other information. So for people in that world, they have one face. For people in the know, they do something completely different. And they always have this sort of broad personality for the people in the regular world, sort of hello, hi, that kind of thing. And then out of the other side of their mouth, they're whispering vital information. People are doing something else. Is that
so? They're like well read. I don't.
At the street level, maybe.
Is that a charisma thing or a?
Well, I mean, it sounds.
What about
like
a street samurai that can kind of convince other people, that can change form in front of other people?
Change form?
Talk about like the newspaper guy from Men in Black.
I'm a street samurai.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing, definitely. It sounds like what you're describing is just a guy who has this
like a
personality
precog
trait
that can walk around.
Like a what?
Like a precog that can walk around.
I don't know if there's anything like that quite. There's not really psychic abilities so much as magic.
Okay.
So
just a street samurai. That's
all
it.
right.
I'll be an everyman.
We got to figure out your guys' races. What race do you want to be, Demorge?
I want to be Norwegian. And my name is Hordegard.
So, like, there's humans and dwarves and elves. And then there's orcs and there's trolls. And any one of those can be from Norway.
The second one.
There's dwarves?
I'm a dwarf, yes.
Okay. A Norwegian dwarf.
I once had a dwarf.
He's an elf.
Dwarfling.
What about Dan and Aaron?
I want to be from British Columbia,
Okay.
and I want my name to be Mercy O'Donnell, and I want my race to be, I think human.
Okay.
Mercy O'Donnell, the human from British Columbia, with the face that you've never seen. It looks like a picture of the galaxy, and you're like, how did they take that picture? But it's a human. It doesn't actually look like the galaxy, but your relationship with it is like you're looking at the heavens. I am very excited.
I'd like to be human.
All right.
And I'm going to be a 15-year-old girl named Juna, who's an elf sorcerer.
All right. I think we got everything settled then.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. So, do we have a show next week?
Also,
I don't
my
know.
character wears Converse.
Is there a show
what
next
Earth
week?
race
Does anybody
are
know
you?
back there? Yeah, there is a show next week. No. I'm
Oh
hearing-
my God.
The fuck?
Getting no. Okay.
I guess there's not a show in 2 weeks.
Sorry, yeah, we're getting a rocky start coming back from the new year, so there's no show next week, but then there's one the week after that. How about that for
So what do we have to do between now and the next show, Spencer, in terms of character? Do we have to roll stats and stuff like that?
No, I'll take care of all that. Just think about the characters you want to create and their backgrounds and what their interests might be, stuff like that. Now you're like a super magic guy, so you probably don't want a lot of like robot parts.
Girl.
Yeah, girl. But the rest of you guys think about maybe also what kind of robot parts you want. Like maybe if you
Do
want
we
like
have to have robot parts?
a metal spleen. No, you don't
What
have
is that
to.
based? Like, how are we making that decisions? Why would we want a metal spleen?
Because it's the future, man. You can have laser eyes and shit. I don't know. That's part of it. If you want to have a robot arm that has like a laser eye in it. If you want like an eye that shoots lasers.
So I
like
can't.
a drinking fountain in your thumb, or
I can't I can't be robotic because I'm a magic user.
Yeah, it fucks up your magics.
Good.
Yeah.
I love this.
So think about those things, and I'll work on making the characters. Backgrounds, your histories, what you do on Thursday evenings, stuff like that.
I eat lingonberries.
What does Jim Nightblade do on a Thursday evening?
he just looks out at the futuristic cityscape and wonders how it got to this. Over a vial of blue liquid.
Are we returning in 2 weeks with a presentation or poetry about our characters, or
You have to
That's
write a
not
theme
up to
song.
me.
Yeah,
So-
no, that would be great. Like we should do like old school like mazes and monsters. You have to like introduce your character. I am Haryana of the. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do
2-minute presentation, any medium we would like,
Except PowerPoint.
except PowerPoint.
I also feel like structurally.
I hate PowerPoint.
We?
So is the gameplay the same as D&D?
I mean, for you guys, it probably will be.
Yeah, it'll be pretty familiar. I would like on our side. I will take the step toward like improving things by. I think we'll try to do is move the gameplay session into the middle of the show, so that we're not always like rip roaring drunk, and it's not like the thing that we save for the end. It's like a thing we do at the goddess point of the story, and not the end. So that we can, I don't know. It's just a thought.
All right.
That way, we'll get it'll have a little more consistency. I'm always so fucking drunk by the time we play D&D. Like I never remember anything.
Dan, would it be okay if we did and when I say we, I mean me. Would it be okay if we, because I don't want to speak for everybody, but like if we did maybe have a presentation in 2 weeks of our characters, would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And also, it's a visual medium now, so any incentive to if you have a
I know
hat,
some
if you have a
dancers.
hat or something that you
Yeah,
put
a
on
hat.
when you play the character, then that's all the
right.
more reason to